the misty mountains of Issaquah, Washington. It's your Executive Director, Zach Doyle.
Good morning, Camp Solomon Schechter. I'm Zach Deutsch, your Executive Director of the most magical place on earth. That's right, Camp Solomon Schechter. You thought it was Disneyland, but it's actually camp. And I'm so delighted to be hosting Schechter Spark this morning. Thanks for tuning in. I wish we could be celebrating in Portland together as a community, having the opportunity to share stories and memories about Rabbi and Goldie and camp. But I'm so happy that you're able to tune in today online and celebrate it as a community anyways. Thank you so much for being here, and the show must go online. Where did you come from?
Dad, don't forget to introduce the graphic designer and the camera lady.
You're right. I wanted to take this time. I've been with my lovely family for 8 weeks now. My beautiful wife Jessica's on the camera, and my talented daughter Charlie, for spinning up all these amazing graphics for Schechter Spark today. Today is all about Camp Solomon Schechter and celebrating the legacy of camp's founders, two brilliant visionaries, change agents, dreamers and leaders in building Jewish identity, creating Jewish sureties, and ensuring Jewish continuity. From Echo Lake to Woodby Island and to our beautiful property in Tumwater, Washington, Rabbi Joshua and Goldie Stampfer of blessed memory are the reasons we're here today. That's a beautiful sign, Charlie. What a beautiful logo, Schechter Spark. Let me tell you a little more about Schechter Spark. It's Camp Solomon Schechter's inaugural fundraiser, and community, alum, parents, grandparents, campers, we need you more than ever. These are uncharted waters for camp and a lot of businesses and corporations. If we can't open camp, we're going to rely on your support. We need meaningful gifts from you today. You have the opportunity to make an impact on camp and its legacy in honor of Rabbi and Goldie. This event was also created to honor their legacy and commitment to Jewish camping and support Camp Solomon Schechter's mission.
Did you know tuition only covers part of camp's expense? Camp relies heavily on donations to make sure that kids like me can spend their summers in an immersive Jewish environment. Back to you, Dad.
We're also presenting the Migdal Or Award to Alana Stampfer in honor of her parents, Rabbi Joshua and Goldie Stampfer. You will hear more about the award and how to support your beloved, our beloved camp later in the program. Oh goodness, what is this I do? Oh, I knew you were coming, buddy. Ah, I got you.
I got you, Daddy.
Oh, yeah, you buddy. This is my guy. This is Bailey. And of course, Charlie.
You got me.
Thank you for being here.
I know. Okay.
I also wanted to take this time to recognize our generous matchmakers. Camp Solomon Schechter, we have an opportunity to raise significant funds for camp today. We have secured $100,000. That's right, $100,000 in matching for Schechter Spark. And every dollar invested will be matched 1-to-1 up to $100,000. That means a $180 gift is turned into $360. A $500 gift is turned into $1,000. We need your support. The opportunity for camp was made possible by our incredible partners and funders. I wanted to thank our matchmakers today. I wanted to thank Audrey Kovner and Diane Doherty. I wanted to thank Joanne and Carl Bianco. I also wanted to thank Becky and Lee Holtzman. And I wanted to thank the Sammons Foundation. Thank you for believing in everything we do. We greatly appreciate your support, investment, and generosity. And thank you to all our Schechter Spark sponsors on the oak, maple, cedar, fir, and birch levels, and to our community sponsors. Thank you so much for believing in our mission and supporting our children and the future of Camp Solomon Schechter. Thank you. I know it's hard to imagine those summer days at camp, but close your eyes just for a minute. Just indulge me for 1 second. Trust me, Imagine being back at camp, how excited you were when the bus turned off exit 101 on I-5, or when you arrived at the shores of Whidbey Island. That incredible feeling sets in the second your feet hit the ground. You're finally back at camp. You're filled with so many emotions and overwhelmed with so much joy and excitement. At Camp Solomon Schechter, you will find children in search of counselors as if they were godlike beings, capable of healing all wounds and bandaging all torn friendships. You will find the rustling of the leaves in the big leaf maple, children's laughter, wind-blown hair, sun-kissed skin, and a constellation of stars as we bring in Havdalah. Hot sand in your toes, the rush of water on your skin, canoes paddles slashing the water's edge, the sun setting, the warmth of a fire, the ooey-gooey taste of s'mores, and the leftover remnants of chocolate and marshmallows on wide smiles and many heartfelt goodbyes. The connections you made at Camp Solomon Schechter, the stories, memories, and friendships will be with you forever. This is bigger than a summer camp. It's a movement and a piece of your identity which was formed in a fully immersive Jewish experience. We owe that feeling and sense of connection to Rabbi and Goldie. It's our job today to pay that feeling forward and ensure that this camp continues to thrive and that every Jewish child has the opportunity to go to summer camp. Schechter is not simply a summer-long childhood experience. The lessons and values learned at camp last a lifetime. I wanted to take this time to introduce our Schechter Spark committee chairs. These two women are phenomenal volunteers, Camp Solomon Schechter enthusiasts. They also love everything about Rabbi and Goldie, and they miss them dearly. Let's give a big round of applause to Sherry Cordova and Marcy Atkins. Sherry, you're up.
Good morning, and welcome to our virtual gathering in honor of Rabbi Joshua and Goldie Stampfer of blessed memory, and in celebration of Camp Solomon Schechter. It is a great pleasure to be able to laud Rabbi Stampfer and Goldie. They have had a very important influence in my adult Jewish life, and I'd like to share a few of those memories with you. Rabbi Stampfer officiated at the wedding of my beloved Lee and at the weddings of all three of our children. He was a part of baby namings and part of their B'nai Mitzvot. Rabbi Stampfer has been part of every significant Jewish life cycle event in our lives. Goldie came to my home to help me kosher my kitchen, and it was a wonderful afternoon of laughing and sharing memories that I will always treasure. When I held the position of Executive Director of Programming at Congregation Neve Shalom, I got to work with Rabbi Stampfer on an almost daily basis. He'd come into my office and sit down across from me, tint his fingers, and say, "I have an idea." And I would immediately grab a yellow pad and start writing as fast as I could to see what his new creation was going to be. When he talked about Camp Solomon Schechter, his face glowed, and he always referred to campers as our Jewish future. My daughter Elena went to Camp Solomon Schechter as a camper, as a counselor, and later as the camp nurse. And that is when she met her husband-to-be, Ian Felgar. When they had their family, they returned to camp, to family camp together. And last year, Micah went to his first 2-week session as an 8-year-old at Camp Solomon Schechter. When I went in to tell Rabbi Stampfer that Micah would be going to camp for the first time, he shouted a hearty Mazel Tov. It was truly a joyous moment. In addition to giving the Stampfer family the Migdal Or Award to celebrate their long creation and support and love of Camp Solomon Schechter, we are having our fundraiser virtually this year and hope that you will join us in ensuring the past is remembered the future is enjoyed and celebrated for our campers. I'm glad to introduce a very enthusiastic camp alumni, Marcy Atkins.
Hi everyone, this is Marcy Atkins, former camper, counselor, office admin for over the course of 7 years, and today I am proud to be your Schechter Spark event co-chair. When I was asked to be involved with this back in October, I knew in my heart that I needed to be a part of this, and let me show you why. This is me as a Bet camper on Whidbey Island in the summer of 1965. And this is me as a counselor in front of Lake Stampfer, the summer of 1972. If they say that pictures speak 1,000 words, then there really is nothing more that I should be talking about. But the amazing, lasting friendships I made, the vivid memories that I still have, I hope resonate with you too. There's nothing like camp. Growing up in Portland, I revered Rabbi and Goldie Stampfer of blessed memory. But during the summer, he left behind his black robe that he wore on the pulpit, and she, her little two-piece suits with a matching hat, and became one of us. Khaki shorts, t-shirts. I have vivid memories of them sitting at the head table in the Chadar, reveling over the joy and the enthusiasm and the ruach and the dancing and the singing that was contagious every night with all the campers year after year. So today, we're here to ask you to try to remember some special memories of your days at camp. And then dig deep in your pockets, pledge generously, and ensure the future of the kids in the Pacific Northwest at Camp Solomon Schechter. Thank you very much. Back to you, Zach.
Can we give it up one more time for Sherry and Marcy? The two of you are gifts to Camp Solomon Schechter. Thank you for your tireless effort, energy, support, and strength. Now I wanted to send this over to our Associate Director, Josh Niehaus, for a song and video montage.
Hey everybody! Since we can't be together in person, we thought we'd film our song here in the most beautiful place on earth.
This is a song about how together we can build a better world.
Olam chesed yibaneh, yadadai, dai, yadadai, dai. 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 I will build this world from love. Yadadai, dai, yadadai, dai. You must build this world from love. Yadadai, dai, yadadai, dai. And if we build this world from love, yadadai, dai, yadadai, dai, then God will build this world from love. Yadadai, dai, yadadai, dai. yibane. Yadadai, dai, yadadai, dai. Olam chesed yibane. Yadadai, dai, yadadai, dai. Olam chesed yibane. Yadadai, dai, yadadai, dai. Olam chesed yibane. Yadadai, dai, yadadai, dai. Yadadai, dai, yadadai, dai.
Wow, Carly and Josh, that was awesome. Look at all those smiling faces, friendships being formed, and kids living their best lives, screen-free and unplugged from the demands of society and social norms. Camp brings out the best of every child. Thanks, Josh and Carly. Now I wanted to kick it over to Mark Callinger, our current board president, for a few words.
Thank you, Zach, and thanks to all of you for being here this morning and for your continued support for Camp Solomon Schechter. I'm Mark Callinger, president of the board and proud parent of Ellen and Albert, who both grew up spending their summers as campers, Odadim, and counselors. My commitment to serving camp through my participation on the board arises from the long connection our family has had with Schechter and my gratitude for the impact it has had on our Jewish lives. And this connection has only grown stronger through the years as I have seen how Schechter seamlessly integrates Jewish culture, tradition, and values into the camping experience. No one has been more influential in my family's continuing commitment to Judaism and the Jewish community than Rabbi and Goldie Stampfer of blessed memory. They were there for us in our early days at Neve Shalom when they patiently guided us on our path by sharing their wisdom and serving as wonderful role models. For me personally, Rabbi Stampfer exemplified all that was good in Judaism, and I particularly admired his commitment to teaching and institution building. I directly experienced this excellence as a teacher through my 15-year participation in his weekly Talmud class, and I owe my involvement in Jewish organizations to my desire to continue his legacy by strengthening institutions that he founded or served, including Neve Shalom, the Institute for Judaic Studies, and of course, Camp Solomon Schechter. My love of camp derives from the profound, transformative influence that I have witnessed firsthand. While I was not a camper myself, as a parent, I have seen what a great Jewish camp can do to strengthen Jewish identity. Equally important is how it can form lifelong relationships that further reinforce Jewish culture, traditions, and values. I believe, as many others do, that no other institution has a more positive and lasting impact on our children. And that is why I'm so committed to seeing Camp Solomon Schechter thrive for future generations. Now I would like to tell you about the work of the board and the state of camp. In my 9 years on the board, I have been privileged to work with many great people and have been involved in a number of important projects, including completing a successful capital campaign, developing the strategic plan, hiring a new executive director, to name a few. Currently, we're very focused on making our already excellent and diverse board even better by recruiting individuals to fill gaps in relevant skills and knowledge, and doing this while achieving more complete geographic representation. Strengthening the board in this way, along with doing the necessary succession planning, will ensure that camp continues to have the leadership it deserves. I want to take a minute to acknowledge how far your camp has come in a short time. Zach and his team have made tremendous progress in achieving our strategic objectives, growing new campers by 36%, completing the first phase of the capital campaign that gave us a beautiful new and improved Hadar and much needed upgrades to infrastructure, stabilizing camp finances by recruiting campers, increasing fundraising, and expanding rentals for the Stampfer Retreat Center. And they accomplished all of the above while enhancing Judaic and general programming. We're proud of where this camp was headed before the pandemic, and I have no doubt that with your support, we will continue to progress toward our goal of being the premier Jewish camp in the Pacific Northwest. Finally, I want to express my great appreciation and gratitude to all the community sponsors and to our matchmakers. Thank you. Now back to you, Zach.
This is a dream job, even during difficult times. Yes, I have 2 kids bouncing off the walls, but I love what we've been able to accomplish in my 2 short years as executive director. The impact, relationships formed, vibrant partnerships. Camp's mission keeps our professional team motivated each and every day. It's exhilarating to see camp thrive and know that we've just started. Over the last 2 summers, we've added 150 new camper sessions. Last summer, we welcomed 193 brand new kids, first-time campers. Our retention rate has also risen by 8%, and we were on pace to have another banner year. We had 150 more campers enrolled year over year before the start of the pandemic. Our homegrown and international staff continue to be the heartbeat of camp's magical experience. Camp's full-time team and seasonal staff are one of the main reasons for our recent success. Take a peek at this video. It shows Yonit. Yonit joined us from Uganda. She had her bat mitzvah at camp. The whole camp community came together and celebrated as she read from the Torah for the first time. It's an unbelievable sight to see. Our staff are the key to the success of the organization. We have the most dedicated, hardworking, inspiring staff in the entire industry. Their top priority is the health, safety, and well-being of our campers. They provide unique, individualized attention, compassion, and care to every child. They also build meaningful relationships and serve as positive Jewish role models. We consider this work to be sacred, and we continue to create immersive Jewish experience in a phenomenal outdoor environment. Our 174-acre property is one of the greatest assets, and we work to ensure that every camper develops a love for the great outdoors. We have added 18 new nature hugim activities over the past 2 summers, including birding, geocaching, animal tracking, and lots more, all through a Jewish lens. Our campers take in the breathtaking surroundings of camp, explore the woodlands, bike through the forest, tube down the Deschutes River, stargaze in the bog, and splash around in beautiful Lake Stampfer. I've had the opportunity to visit different camps. Of course I'm biased, but Schechter's setting is absolutely stunning, and never fully realized it until I came back to camp after 20 years to be the executive director. The sunsets over the lake are enough to make the entire camp stop what they're doing and gather on the Chadar porch to catch their breath. It's unbelievable. It's absolutely magical. Our brand is full throttle Judaism. We create an environment where campers and staff are proud to be Jewish. Camp is a safe haven for campers and staff to live and practice Judaism freely, whatever that looks like to them. The mission of camp is more important than ever. In a world full of chaos and with the recent rise in anti-Semitism, Schechter gives campers and staff the resources, skills, and a platform to activate their voice, stand tall, and be proud of their heritage, history, and culture. Camp Solomon Schechter will continue to be a place where campers can be the best versions of themselves. Campers can sing their hearts out, explore the great outdoors, and be proud to be Jewish with no judgment, no hesitation, and no roadblocks getting in their way. That's the environment we create at Camp Solomon Schechter. I wanted to take this time to kick it back over to Mark for the presentation of the Migdal Or Award.
Thank you, Zach. It gives me great pleasure to present Alana Emlin with the first Migdal Or Award on behalf of Rabbi Joshua and Goldie Stampfer of blessed memory. Migdal Or is a beacon of light, and this award is given out to exceptional individuals who keep the spark of the Stampfer's legacy alive and light the way for others to follow. Rabbi Joshua and Goldie Stampfer are both the inspiration for this award as well as the first recipients. And I'm especially pleased to present this award to my good friend, Alana, who, like her parents, has always shown remarkable commitment to making camp the best it can be.
Thank you, Mark. And I'm really thrilled to receive on behalf of my parents this award. I really wish that my father could have been here himself to accept it, but I want everyone to know how much it means to my brothers and my sister to receive this award on their behalf. This is what it looks like. It's the Schechter Spark Award. And they would have been thrilled to be able to celebrate with everyone who's coming together from all over the world to create Camp Solomon Schechter. My mom and dad so closely on creating and cultivating Camp Solomon Schechter for granted that that's how parents worked, how couples worked, because they were all in, they were completely in sync, and they threw themselves in it. And when my brother went off to college, they turned his bed into the camp office, and that was the room where all the files were. That was where my mom kept 4x6 index cards, one for each camper, to show when they registered, if they had any medical issues, and that was where they figured out the cabins, and that was where my parents figured out the staffing needs, and my mom organized the menus for the whole summer. Now that I'm an adult, I realize that it's actually unusual for couples to work that closely together on one goal and one aim, except for when it comes to raising their children. And when my sister used to joke around saying that camp was my parents' sixth child, it really does seem that way. And that's how they approached it. But also, as an adult and other, I know that parents don't raise their children on their own. The phrase, "it really takes a village," is true. And in the same way, that's how camp was created and has continued to thrive for all these years. Because parents didn't just found camp, they worked together with a group of people from all over the Pacific Northwest to create it. And they didn't on their own keep it going. They had a team of supporters who kept camp thriving through ups and downs all these many years. And so I feel like everybody who helped with the creation of camp and who has supported it all of these years is also a recipient, in a way, of this Migdal Or Award. And I'm looking forward to seeing more and more people receive this award in the years to come, because camp is so dear to my family, and I know it's very dear to all of you. So thank you so much.
Thank you, Alana. And thank you, Rabbi Joshua and Goldie Stampfer, for your amazing legacy. Now, back to you, Zach.
And now it's time to watch a delightful piece created by Ken Klein to help us illustrate the true essence of Rabbi and Goldie's vision. Thank you.
As soon as I came to Portland, Oregon, my thoughts turned to a new camp. I wanted to call it Camp Solomon Schechter, to represent the idea that in our camp, the new and the old would fuse.
It's an incredible sight to see. witnessing all the Schechter campers filing off the buses, unloading their gear, and running to their cabins, hugging their friends and high-fiving their counselors. The setting we create at camp is transformational, and that transformation happens minutes after the campers set foot on the grounds. That fully immersive experience we create at camp is powerful, holy, and magical, and that's the same experience I had when I was growing up at camp. I spent 6 years as a camper and 5 years on staff. I truly never wanted to leave my summer home. The traditions, rituals, and experiences I had as a camper are the same moments, traditions, experiences, and magic we create in 2020 and beyond. I loved Maccabi at camp. I was a sporty kid.
I feel like Maccabi every year is always it's like somewhat out of your comfort zone, even though it's like you do it every year.
We played basketball, went swimming, chucked dodgeballs, played soccer. Of course, we played hours and hours of Gaga and participated in a variety of other sports.
I always have so much fun. It's always one of my favorite parts of the summer.
The vision started for me at another camp, Brandeis Camp Institute. I attended that in 1943, and Goldie Stampfer attended the camp as a representative of Junior Hadassah in Atlanta, Georgia. I realized then more than I could possibly have understood before, how life-changing a camp can be.
Going to camp is still where I feel the most Jewish and feel the most proud to be Jewish. I just can't imagine not having camp and still being as passionate and comfortable in my Judaism as I am.
It still gives me the chills thinking about it. When the entire camp collects on the hill, looking out over the lake before we start Havdalah, we wait for 3 stars in the sky. All the campers and staff would come together as a community and put their arms around each other, swaying back and forth. As we started to chant the blessings, smell the spices, we would watch the vibrant flame glow from the Havdalah candle. And still to this day, the tradition at the end of the ceremony, when we dip the candle and flame into the wine and you hear that loud crackle, do you remember that sound? I personally would store that crackling sound as a memory for the entire time I was away from my happy place. Today at camp, we inspire Jewish life and learning by creating magical, spiritual, and sacred moments for our campers, staff, and community.
The one memory that just comes to mind from those early summers at camp was there was a fire, and the bell outside the kitchen was ringing and ringing to warn everyone. And my mom, and it was either Mrs. Pomerantz or Mrs. Solomon, they just rose to the occasion, and there was this just big, tall vat of water that used to be out all the time for drinking water. The two of them filled it up. It weighed a few hundred pounds, and they lifted it into the back of a station wagon and took it close to the fire. My mom was only 4'11", just itty bitty, and they just hoisted this heavy water to try to save camp. And that has just always stuck in my mind is people rising to the occasion for Camp Solomon Schechter.
You wake up in the morning as a camper, and you go to sleep maybe at night as a camper. And all that time, your day was constantly surrounded by an atmosphere of commitment to an ideal. In my view, the vision will not be fulfilled until every Jewish child goes to a Jewish camp. But camp is good. It's good for a child. It enables a child to grow up with peers, playing together, respecting each other, doing all those things that we want children to enjoy. Too many Jewish children are not going to a Jewish camp. And my vision is not fulfilled until that occurs.
It's at this time we take inspiration from Rabbi Stampfer of blessed memory, who shared with us in that video that he believed his work on behalf of Camp Solomon Schechter was not finished. We honor his memory by picking up the torch and continuing the sacred work. The support of the community is more vital than ever due to the challenges arising from the pandemic. We need your help to ensure that every camper who wants to benefit from the Schechter experience can participate without their financial situation being a barrier. Guess what? That camper that I just mentioned, that was me growing up. I was that young boy. I came from a family that didn't have many resources. We relied heavily on the community and scholarships to engage in Jewish life. My mom, who is my hero, never let those circumstances get in the way. She did everything in her power to make sure my brother and I had the same opportunities that other kids did. I know there are thousands of stories just like mine. Where would I be without camp? What if there was no scholarship money available for my family? I can tell you that my life would look completely different. How many other stories and Jewish journeys would look different? I know I don't stand here alone, and now, as the executive director of this life-changing organization, I'm committed to doing everything in my power to make sure that Schechter has the resources to support every child in need of financial aid. Camp is not a luxury item. It's 100% essential and needs to be a priority for every household.